All right, welcome to the 3.1 video review. Today we're going to be talking about types of variation. One thing you need to know before we begin is that we're going to be using a variable called k. This is really not a variable in the sense that it's not going to change like x and y. What it is a constant of variation. So once we determine what k is, it's going to allow us to figure out some stuff. There are multiple types of variation. The first type is direct variation. Direct variation is described as y increasing, x is also increasing. So as y is increasing, x is also increasing. What that looks like table-wise is that you might see something that looks like this. As x is increasing, 1, 2, 3, you might see that y is also increasing, 2, 4, 6. So it's definitely increasing in both regards. We're going to see the equation for that, y is equal to kx. In this case, the k would be 2, because as x is increasing, y would be twice that. We can check that again. Of course, we don't need to. Let's move on to inverse variation. Inverse variation is the exact opposite. So as y is increasing, x is decreasing. Table-wise, it's going to look similar to what I just showed you, except that as x is increasing, y is going to decrease. So 1, 2, 3, you might have 6, 4, 2. Joint variation describes a case in which multiple variables are varying directly with another variable. So we're going to see multiple direct variation here. Multiple direct variation. For instance, in this case, z varies jointly with x and y means that x and y are varying directly with z. Notice that here they're both multiplied, just like up here, that x was multiplied for that y whenever we're talking about direct variation. So with joint variation, you have multiple direct variations that everything is multiplied towards that k. All right, combined variation on the other hand could have direct variation and inverse variation all tied together. For instance, you might see something like z varies jointly with x and y and inversely with w, meaning that jointly is multiple direct variations, so x and y is multiplied to that k, just like this x is up here. And then the w is varied inversely, so it's in the bottom in the denominator, just like the x right up here whenever we were talking about inverse variation. You also might see that z varies directly with x and inversely with the product wy. So x is varied directly, so it goes multiplied next to that k, and then k is divided by wy because we're talking about inverse variation, so we're going to throw everything in the denominator.